Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. Governor Gavin Newsom is set to give an update on the pandemic across our state as new restrictions go into effect across Kern County. This week, California became the state with the most cases of coronavirus across the country. And we'll bring that update to you from the governor in Sacramento as soon as he gets going in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at today's numbers announced by Kern County Public Health. Here's the latest numbers. 1,038 new cases were announced this morning. That makes more than 6,000 new cases in just the last week. Of those, 7,895 people are currently recovering at home. 149 are being treated in the hospital for the virus. And also, sadly, 8 new deaths were announced this morning due to COVID-19 here in Kern County. That brings the death toll to 123 since the pandemic began. 5,193 people have currently recovered from the virus. And from gyms to nail salons, many businesses are expected to close again today as new coronavirus restrictions roll out across Kern County. Indoor operations across these and other industries are expected to be ordered to shut down. That includes indoor services at gyms and fitness centers, places of worship, personal care services like salons and barbershops, shopping malls, and entertainment venues. However, some businesses can still operate outdoors, though they may need a special permit from the city to do so. County health officials say they are not enforcing these new restrictions, but the state is and has set up a strike force to check for compliance. All right, and Governor Gavin Newsom is now bringing us the latest update from Sacramento. Let's listen in.
About the importance we place on personal responsibility to wear face coverings, to wear face masks, the concern that has been expressed by many, certainly not just those representing the state of California, but all across the country, that so often we let our guard down, that we may be mixing outside of our households, either in large congregate events or even in your own backyard, where extended family members come over. We may begin by wearing our face coverings, but within an hour or two, as we get to the cooler to have a drink and eat some food, the masks now are put aside, the kids start congregating, and we put ourselves in a position where it's more, not less likely, that we'll see an increase in the spread, in the transmission of the virus. Multi-generational households in particular are vulnerable, particularly from an age cohort perspective, to the ravages of this virus in those types of environments. We've talked a lot about the challenges in congregate facilities, congregate settings, from homeless shelters to skilled nursing facilities, residential care, adult daycare facilities throughout the state of California, and clearly in our corrections institution, not only at the state level, but at the county level as well. Not enough focus, candidly, has been placed on essential workers in this state. And for us to be able to be successful in terms of stopping the spread of COVID-19, extinguishing COVID-19, which we will do, it depends on our ability to keep our essential workers safe. Who are these essential workers? This slide, I think, is profoundly important, and I hope you'll take a good look at it. Those that may be listening that don't have the benefit of the slide we're putting up, it's self-evident to many people that we demanded, even with our stay-at-home order, certain sectors of our economy to remain open. We deemed them essential. Grocery stores, food delivery, truck driving, warehousing, logistics, the foundational principles of any free society, the foundational needs that we all have in terms of basic health needs, basic food and shelter needs. So we relied on millions and millions of essential workers. That's even with the stay-at-home order. What wasn't identified as, I think, acutely as it needs to be identified is not only the sacrifices of those workers, and we've made a point of trying to do more to support our essential workforce in the past as it relates to providing support, a number of things that I'll be talking about here today. But we didn't get under the hood to state the obvious, and that is overwhelming majority, you'll see in certain sectors of our economy, are disproportionately represented in the Latino community. in the Black and Asian community. Look at farm workers. That may not surprise many people, 93% of that workforce being the Latinx, Latino community. But look at construction laborers. Look at the cooks and the food preparation workers. Look at our critical workforce, our truck drivers and cashiers. Over half of the cashiers in the state are represented in the Latino demographic. And that's the community that increasingly and disproportionately is being impacted, not only by the spread of the virus, but the mortality related to the spread of the virus. It's not exclusive. Again, not suggesting.
All right, and you're listening to Governor Gavin Newsom give us the latest update on efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19 across our state. We will stream this live on our Facebook page. It's going on right now. You can go there to continue watching it, and we'll keep you updated on any important updates that he mentions as well later on here on 17 News at noon. And we have some breaking news this afternoon. We have just learned that a law enforcement vehicle was stolen early this morning from the home of a DA investigator. Bakersfield police say the investigator for the district attorney's office had his personal vehicle burglarized sometime between 4:30 and 5:30 this morning in the 2700 block of Callaway Drive. The keys and registration to his work vehicle were then stolen. A 2019 silver Nissan Rogue, California license plate 8GOS873. Police say the thief then went to the investigator's home and stole the vehicle. In the trunk was an AR-15 style rifle, ammo, and body armor with police patches. If you have any information on this crime, you're asked to call police at 327-7111. In an update to a story we first brought you on 17 News at Sunrise, a man has died after an overnight shooting. Just before 11 p.m., Bakersfield police were called to reports of shots fired in the 1400 block of Pacific Street, which is right off Haley, just a few blocks from Kern Medical. They found a man suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Homicide detectives are investigating but say there have been no arrests. If you have any information, call BPD at 327-7111. This brings us now to 69 homicides so far this year and 10 just this month. We continue to see far more killings than last year, and you can see details about past cases as well as victims coming up if you go to our website kget.com and click on the homicide tracker icon. A teenager was also shot overnight just before 1 a.m. Police say a 15-year-old was in a vehicle when another vehicle pulled up alongside and opened fire, hitting the teen rather. The driver took the teen to the hospital, and the victim is said to be stable. Again, if you have any information, you're asked to call police. A pedestrian was hit last night crossing the street in central Bakersfield. It happened on 8th Street, just a few blocks south of Palm. Police say the pedestrian was not in a crosswalk when that person was hit, and the driver remained on the scene, cooperating with the investigation. The victim was taken to the hospital with major injuries. Officers don't believe drugs, alcohol, or speed were factors. All right, let's take a look at that Finally Friday forecast. It was a nice day yesterday, Kev. I'm going to miss those temperatures.
Yeah, 93 sounds good compared to where we're going to be at as we progress into the weekend and into next week. You can see we've got clear skies out there right now. No changes on that front. And before we get to the local forecast, we are still tracking the tropics, and we'll do so as we head into the weekend. And we've got some storms that have started to pick up a little bit of steam, but then will die on out. We'll take a look at the first one. This is Hurricane Douglas. This was a Category 4 this morning, now a Category 3. Winds right now at 150 miles per hour. That's what they're gusting to. We expect it to downgrade to a Category 1 as it's just north of the Big Island and then moves out west by next week as a tropical storm. The other system we're looking at is Tropical Storm Gonzalo, and this system isn't going to strengthen much, and it's going to have very little impact on landfall, and by next week will start to die out, and then we continue to watch some storms in the Gulf. Here at home, though, clear skies, and we're holding on to that temperature of 90 degrees. We have a light wind out of the west at 7 miles per hour, bringing in other temperatures, 86 in Delano, 90 in Butwillow and Taft, and then for the mountains right now, 75 in Fraser Park. Tehachapi, you're at 81, 86 for Lake Isabella. Hey, here's a look at the numbers today. Sacramento at 92, 98 in Fresno, down to the south, 70s for Los Angeles, and if you're going to make your way east, Vegas at 103. Here's a look at the big pattern. And we've got the ridge of high pressure just to the east of us. This is, again, going to retrograde west, and that will help with our warm-up as we head into the weekend and especially into next week. Futurecast HD doesn't show anything heading our way, but we still keep some of that moisture off to the east of us, so we can't rule out some thunderstorms. And then this model going through Thursday of next week, and we see an area of low pressure developing out of the Pacific Northwest. We'll see if that has any impact on our temperatures as well. Here's a look at the air quality today. Going to be moderate with an AQI at 84, and today we're going to call for the upper 90s. Bakersfield 98, 99 in McFarland. Out to the west side, Taft will be right near 95. Into the mountains, look for a south wind 10 to 20, 83 in Fraser Park. Tehachapi right near 85, and then for the Kern River Valley 90s. Lake Isabella, you'll be right near 94 this afternoon. And then for the desert, sunny skies and also warm. But Ridgecrest, you're getting a break. You're going to be right near 100. You know, in previous days, you've been right around 108. So that's a nice trim. 95 in Mojave. As we take a look at that extended forecast here, you can see 99 for Saturday, triple digits by Sunday, and next week, Wednesday, Thursday, actually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be right near 103. For the mountains, warming things up gradually day by day, back into those 90s Monday through Thursday, and then for the Kern River Valley forecast, mid-90s tomorrow, and then you're going to be right near 100 Sunday through next Thursday. Hope you have a great weekend. That's a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We have some breaking news of a plane crash in Tehachapi. According to Pulse Point, there was an aircraft crash reported just before noon at North Green Street. A quick search of the address shows it's in a business area. We're working to confirm all of this information with local officials, and we have a crew headed to the scene. We'll bring you updates. Download our 17 News app to get those as soon as they're available.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to KGET.com.